Welcome to Anti-Chats and Tarot. Hello, Cappies. Welcome in. Let's get to your message here. I'm going to do a combination of tarot and oracles. Here we go. What do the Capricorns need to know? Thank you to all who have supported this channel. I really appreciate it. Remember, not everything's going to resonate here. Take what does. Leave the rest. Take what helps you to help yourself. And leave the rest. And also, I'm doing a new segment. If you want to leave a comment about what you're going through, advice you need, we'll take a look at the cards. And I feel so many of us cross over in similar experiences that I feel confident that by helping you, we can help others. Heal the ouch. These are new cards to me, so I will be utilizing the book a little bit here. I'm getting familiar, but not with all of them. Heal the ouch. Let's see. Forgiveness is the healer of the soul. This is a time for great soothing of the heart, body, mind, as this card indicates that healing will be prevalent in your life now. If you feel drawn to study the healing arts, you'll be successful in developing your natural capacity to restore others to wellness. You're being called to change your behaviors in order to heal the earth as well, potentially. Yeah. Certain examples might be like cruelty-free diet, eating less meats, or perhaps paying more attention to how much water or electricity you use. Be conscious of your footprint on this sacred earth. This card may also be an indicator of old wounds and broken bonds being mended. Yeah, I love that. Reconciliations are possible now. Let bygones be bygones. Loving it. Great start. Okay, let's intertwine with some tarot here. Healing, mending. Healing the earth. Actions to take. King of Pentacles. Lovely success there. Great success there. Healing the hurts. I feel like this is what you're doing now. It's been very successful for you. Oh, tarot on the floor. Here we go. Strength. I've had the strength to take a look at this. I'm hearing, take a look at this, ouch, and heal. Not been easy. It hasn't been easy for you to be the patient. Usually you are the nurse helping others. You finally decided to take the help of somebody here. Ask for help. That's been kind of a running theme this week. And I feel like this was hard for you to ask for help, hard for you to be the patient, but it's worked out for you. It took strength for you to be this patient. To be patient and to be the patient. Okay. Queen of Swords in the reverse. This is healing from somebody who was very harsh in your life. Very critical, criticizing, constant criticism I hear. Negativity. Sad embrace is your oracle. Loss is a part of life. Let go and allow time to heal. More healing here. And letting go of somebody here who is very critical of you. Let's get some more tarot involved. Yeah. Being independent of this energy now. You're going to see it propels you into a whole new positive energy, whole new freedom energy, like the air is cleared, there's air to breathe that's clean, something like that. Where I think your energy before and your situation before, lack, Five of Pentacles, lack, toxic, tainted. Ace of Pentacles, brand new beginning, prosperous beginning. Yeah, that's your King of Pentacles. Excellent, excellent success here. Walking away from somebody or no longer letting their energy consume you, dictate to you, something like that. Walking away from this entirely or setting your boundaries here. healing from the past with this person. Rescue. Feeling rescued, that's with this nurse energy coming in to help you. Let's see if there's something else here we need to gather out of that card. Letting go. You are always safe and secure and free to be yourself. Yeah, freedom. Like the clean air you can breathe now, the toxicity, the tainted air even gone. Asking for help isn't easy. What are we talking about here? I love this. Very succinct. Asking for help isn't easy for many. And we talked about this for you. It's not easy for many successful people. King of Pentacles out here. You're used to success, but you're also seeing success in this scenario. However, that's what you need to do now as you expand your life. If you find yourself troubled, you can expect help with whatever issue is at hand now. You need only ask. Ask and you shall receive. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. Wow, okay. Embracing your uniqueness. Yeah. 6 of Wands in the reverse, knowing what doesn't work, knowing what, way too familiar with what victory doesn't look like. And you said, enough of this. Page of Wands in the reverse, becoming too familiar with what cowardly, or, this is energy that was all up on you in a criticizing, critiquing sort of way, but then around others, totally different, throwing rocks and hiding their hands. But trying to be actually just being very cruel here to you. What else do we have here for Cappies? The Moon. This is that energy of them wanting others to see a different side of them while they treated you some sort of way behind the scenes. Spirit of place. This talks about everything has an essence. Everything has a spirit, and also tree spirit. And also that you're protected. You've always been protected here, even though this person played games. Played games with you. I'm hearing their games were their projection onto you. Their lack of confidence, their lack of knowing self was a projection onto you to put you down, to keep you down. Then they didn't have to look at self, or they didn't have to evaluate their actions, or, if you became the scapegoat or you were always the problem, then they didn't have to look at themselves. And I feel like Spirit's saying, take none of that in. It's always been about them and their inabilities. Stormfields, excuse me. Let's look at that one. That's the first time I pulled that. 9 is the number here. This too shall pass. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you've left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release. Just as in a storm, nature must break. For these events to occur when the electricity becomes opposing forces, things stir up and create temporary disorder. This is this other person's energy now that you've walked away. I feel like your energy is peace, calm. I should have done this 100 years ago, walked away from you and your nonsense. Or I should have put up boundaries. Not all of you are leaving this person in their entirety, but know that not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees. Yeah, it's an energy of reviving. Storms come through, but in a good way. They bring about fertile ground, new, the old is washed away. The new becomes very fertile. Fertile ground for you, for sure. And the toxicity washes away. But I feel also their energy is this, where without you, they're really scattered. The tornado has hit, and they don't know which way is up, because you were always the empress. You were always the empress. You were always the abundant. You were always the gift. You were always the prize, the treasure. I could go on and on and on. I'm going to get choked up, so I'm really not going to go on and on and on, but you get the picture there. You were always it. They were not it. That, I feel like, is where the crux of the problem is. Let's see. Do I have that right? You were always it. You brought out their toxicity, the devil here. You were always it, which caused them to be very toxic because they wanted to be it, or they wanted to be you, or you shined while they were dark. You were always, it was always known you were special. And no matter what they tried, you never went to the darkness. You always stayed in faith, stayed positive. You even probably were the nurse to them. Now somebody's finally the nurse to you. Okay, the Chariot is out here, the Nine of Wands. What moves fast here is just getting out of this rundown energy. This doing for others, nursing others back to health. It's time for you to take a break and for you to be nurtured and nursed. Five of Swords in the reverse. There's no more competition here. Yeah, this energy right here is definitely competitive. The dark and the light, the abundant and the toxic. That's you and this person. And for some of you, this is actually it's a family member, I feel. Five of Swords in the reverse. Coming out of that toxicity, coming out of that competition. I don't think this was ever competition in your mind. It was always like a question mark. Why aren't you in my corner? I mean, that's your role as such and such family member. You always wondered about them. You always wondered if you could trust this person. Something like that. Eight of Swords out here. Yeah, they wanted to hold you back because they felt like they were held back, or they were afraid. They didn't want to go out into the world. You were never afraid. You always knew you were special. You knew you had the magic secret sauce. And you have been very successful. And that's gotten up under their skin too, I hear. Okay, well, a lot of things they have to work through, but you have said goodbye to it. And like I said, in a way where you've either set up boundaries or you've actually said your goodbyes. The Four of Pentacles in the reverse here. Yeah, more letting it go. Now the cards start to repeat. Anything further? I think this is just a kudos to you type of read. Here's your situation. Here's what you've done. You've seen success by walking away, and kudos to you. And you've dealt with your pain here. Yeah, the healing. That's how we started out. You healed the ouch. You've dealt with your pain here. Cards repeat with the Hermit and the Three of Swords. You looked deep. You got enlightenment on the pain. And that has helped you to heal, to ask for help, to be healed, to take the time to be a patient, to be patient in being a patient. Yeah. Capricorn, not always easy for you, but kudos to you, because I feel like you're being patient, to be a patient and to be doted on has led you to a lot of bringing in your big deal wishes. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You can do anything, but I think you've always felt like that. And then you've had to deal with this muckety muck, and you're like, but you're in a role that should be supportive of me, and why hasn't that happened? And so it's taken you a little bit off course, but I feel like, yeah, certainly this is some sort of metamorphosis for you and a commitment back to self. And I say back to self because I think, you've gone in and out of this being in your corner and then not, believing what other people say about you. I don't think you're doing that anymore, though. I think you're definitely, I'm on path, I am clear here, and I'm always going to be for me, because that is what you can control, is that you're for yourself. The fish, lots of abundance here. We see it. Our Empress came out. Yeah. You've always been abundant. You've always been abundant. Yes, as I'm saying that, and I'm looking, it's the infinity and the fish. You've always been abundant. Beautiful. And you've always known that. There have maybe been some times where you doubted for just a brief period. But in the back of your mind, even then, you always knew. Yeah, you always knew. You're very special. I love you, Capricorn. I hope this has been helpful. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment. It helps the channel to grow. Please do utilize the link below for Buy Me a Coffee. And until next time, let's remember who we are and let's remember our self-worth. Also, remember, don't forget, if there's something you want advice on or you want to get some information from the cards regarding your situation, please put it in the comments and we'll take a look at that. That will help others too who are going through something similar. We'll just see what the cards have to say. Thanks for joining me today.